Hey guys, what's going on? It's Vic here, back with another Madden 23 rebuild, and one of my commenters told me to rebuild the Washington Commanders, but to draft Bryce Young. But here's the problem with that. I do like the idea of drafting a quarterback or something like that, but Sam Howell was just announced that he was going to be the starter for Week 18, and I'm going to start at the beginning of the season, as you can see here. I'm going to back out here and show you guys. I'm going to start at the beginning of the season, more like a what if Sam Howell started the entire season, because two things. Number one, Taylor Heinicke is a bridge QB. He's not the franchise guy. Carson Wentz sucks. And Sam Howell could be the guy who looked very good in preseason. They're giving him a shot now. So I think it would be fun to rebuild the Commanders with Sam Howell. And number two, I just think it's really unrealistic to think that Bryce Young is going to fall to the Commanders. He's most likely going to be the number one overall pick. The Texans are most likely going to take Bryce Young at number one overall. Maybe CJ Stroud. He had a very, very good game against Georgia. It's crazy how Ohio State actually choked that, but with their kicker, he's gonna get beefed in the locker room. But it was still a long field goal. No one really should blame him that much. But anyways, off topic. I don't think Bryce Young is gonna fall that far up. I am going to load in real draft classes, but I am not going to pick a QB. I'm going to simulate this with Sam Howell. So yes, you told me to. One of my commenters told me to do it with Bryce Young. I just can't see that happening. I don't think Bryce Young will go to the Commanders. Anyways, we got Brian Robinson, Antonio Gibson. Probably going to trade away Antonio Gibson. Scary Terry, Jahan Dotson, Curtis Samuel. I'm probably going to trade away Curtis Samuel as well. Got Sam Cosmi, Charles Leno. The interior offensive line is actually pretty good. It's just I need some younger tackles here. Maybe is Sam Cosmi that old? No, he's not actually. He's only 23. I didn't even know that. So he might be fine, but he just doesn't have development. I'm going to need to replace Logan Thomas. He's just old and he won't progress. D-line, amazing. Montez Sweat, I really think should be a superstar dev. Jamin Davis, don't get me wrong, he's not a bad linebacker. It's just, wasting a first-round pick. I mean, it's not really much of a waste, but using a first-round pick on Jamin Davis is kind of crazy, in my opinion. I think you could have got that guy in the second round. But anyways, Cameron Curl, I need more DBs. I'm going to load in a real draft class, maybe pick up, I like Michael Mayer. Michael Mayer to the Commanders or Michael Mayer to the Chargers would be a really good fit. I think those would make the most sense. But yeah, anyways, guys, I'm going to trade away Antonio Gibson and Curtis Samuel in a package deal right now, just straight off the rip, because I do not want to honestly deal with their contracts, number one. Number two, I'd like to get Jahan Dotson more reps without the CPU auto-adjusting my team. I'm trading away Antonio Gibson and Curtis Samuel to the Baltimore Ravens, which I honestly think makes sense. Antonio Gibson, they love their halfback room, and Curtis Samuel as a receiver for a second-round pick from the Baltimore Ravens. So I think that works out pretty good in our favor and in their favor. So Jahan Dotson is now going to be starting in the second string position, not the starter, but De'Ami Brown I do want as my slot guy instead of Cam Sims. Brian Robinson I always want starting, and Jamin Davis I want my sub linebacker to be in. Defensively, I think we're all good where we're at. So apart from that, guys, I'd say that it is now time to move in to the midseason mark. And here we are at the midseason mark as we are 5-2, second in the division with Sam Howell starting. Nice start. Choose a draft class. I'm going to import the local file. We're going to have a Bengals draft class here. And from Big Gene, Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, Will Anderson. Like, picking CJ Stroud and Bryce Young, both top 5 guys, Commanders are not going to have a top 5 pick. And I know the draft order is going to be out of whack, but Commanders in real life will not have a top 5 pick. That's just the reality of it. I cannot get Bryce Young. I'm sorry for those of you guys that really want me to get him, but I just can't because it just won't happen in real life. I don't think the Commanders will trade up to 1 or 2. So, anyways, scouting national focus. I'm going to try to rebuild with Sam Howell, so we're not going to do QB. I want to do tight end. I want to get Michael Mayer is what I'm looking for, or maybe middle linebacker. But tight end is what I'm going to be looking for to replace Logan Thomas. And then players ready to negotiate. We're 5-2. Really, dude? That's kind of crazy. But the division is pretty good this year. Deron Payne, I need this guy back on our interior defensive line. No long-term commitment, no deal. I gave you a 3-year deal to a 5-year deal. Madden is broken. He wants a long-term commitment. I gave him, it was originally a 3-year deal, and I made it 2 more years. And he's like, no long-term commitment, no deal. Thank you, EA, for making such a garbage game. Cole Holcomb, he starts regression at 28. He won't make it to an 85. If I can lower this a little bit, I'll take it and then have him be depth. Okay, I'll have Cole Holcomb back. I'll have him back. I just didn't want to overpay him. Deron Payne, I still do want on my team. Trey Turner, he can walk. J.D. McKissick can walk. Carson Wentz can walk. Everyone else here is just hot garbage. Can I just trade Carson Wentz to get some value and have some idiot actually try and take Carson Wentz off my hands? Oh, Colts? Did the Colts want him back? No, that wouldn't be realistic. I'm away for a 4th round pick. That's realistic enough for me. He's gone for a 4th round pick. There. Anyways, guys, apart from that, our team is 5-2. Let's see if we can make the playoffs with Sam Howell and move into the playoffs. And here we are in the playoffs, coming off a win to the Cowboys, as we're going to be playing them in the wild card, as we are 10-7, 3rd in the division. Eagles are 11-6. I can actually see this kind of finishing out this way this season. Actually, no, I don't know if the Commanders can actually get 10 wins now, but still, it's pretty nice. And also, the Eagles will have the top of the division, but you guys know what I mean. Anyways, this is not how it's going to play out, but it is what it is. Stats and awards. Let's see what we got. Sam Howell was a baller. Looked almost like a top 10 QB. 15th best offense. 31st defense makes no sense. 4,700 yards, 37 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Brian Robinson, 4.0 per carry, 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns. Decent season. Scary Terry, 1,300 yards, 18 touchdowns. Great. De'Ami Brown, 5 touchdowns, almost 1,000 yards. Logan Thomas, a decent. Jahan Dotson had a good rookie year. Looking at it defensively, Cole Holcomb, 145 tackles for a loss, 21 for Jonathan Allen, sacks, 13 for Montez Sweat, 10 for Deron Payne, interceptions, 4 for Bobby McCain, even though I said he was trash. Safety, 0 defensive touchdowns is 2 for Bobby McCain. Wow. If they're calling him trash, he puts up those numbers, he might get star dev. Anyways, let's see if we can beat the Dallas Cowboys to move on to the divisional round, and we do not after beating them in Week 18. Let's move in to the offseason. Cowboys beat the Ravens in the Super Bowl, who have Curtis Samuel and Antonio Gibson. Demarcus Robinson wins the Super Bowl MVP. Jalen Hurts wins the league MVP, which I can kind of see happening in real life. Juju Smith-Schuster wins Offensive Player of the Year. T.J. Watt wins Defensive Player of the Year, and there are no Commanders here for the awards. But anyways, let's look on the roster to see if there is any development upgrades. Maybe Sam Howell? No, he does not. Trey Turner gets Superstar? For what? Why? He has Superstar for Offensive Lineman of the Year. That's crazy. That's crazy. Jahan Dotson only has star dev. Defensively, looking into it, Cole Holcomb gets star dev. That's sick. Bob McCain also gets star dev. This puts me in a predicament. And no, it doesn't. Bob McCain's 30. I don't care what kind of numbers he put up on our team. I'll give him a 1-year deal at best if he is there for the re-signings. I don't think he is. He's not going to be a long-term player. We're going to have a bunch of money to spend in free agency because I don't have to pay a quarterback in this 4-year rebuild because Sam Howell is on a rookie deal, obviously. So we're going to see what we got for the 2022 retirements. We're the NFC East. Let's go down. Jason Kelsey and Brandon Graham retires. That's really good for us. And looking at it for players ready to negotiate, Deron Payne has even a higher interest. I gave you a 5-year deal. I'll up the salary a slight bit so you keep... What are you doing? What is that? He wants more length. I give him more length. He has a high interest in playing. He doesn't ask for more money. I give him it anyways, and he still says, nah. What is that? EA, fix your game. Trey Turner, I'll bring you back on a 1-year deal just because you got that. But I don't see how easy it was for Trey Turner. It's just I don't really want him long term because he is 30. He's going to start regression. I believe offensive lineman regression starts at 31 or 32, and he's not going to make it to an 80 overall, but he does have Superstar. David Mayo. Is that David Mayo? Who is that? Was I stupid? Yeah, David Mayo. I don't want him, even though he has star dev. Deron Payne. I don't want to tag. I can get him in free agency. I'm going to try and snag him in free agency. It's retarded how the CPU is just like, nah. Even though I give him more money, more years, everything he asked for, and he's like, nah. Let's move into free agency. Okay, so here we are after free agency. We got Jamel Dean, Deron Payne back on a little bit more expensive deal because a bunch of teams were targeting him. Tommy Townsend and Tyler Bass, both on a pretty cheap deal. So anyways, guys, apart from that, it is now time to move in to the draft. In the first round, I'm picking up Christian Gonzalez, man-to-man, Oregon defensive back. I don't know how he fell all the way down this far down the board. 93 speed, definitely going to take him. Michael Mayer was not on the board, unfortunately, which is the guy that I really wanted for the Commanders to go to. Maybe he went to the Chargers. Maybe that would be a little bit more realistic. But Christian Gonzalez, I wasn't going to pass it up. I know I just got Jamel Dean. I know I have Kendall Fuller. Our secondary is locked down now, especially since Bob McCain actually had that really good season. Here we are after the draft, and in the second round, I picked up this guy, Sam Laporta, the tight end, and I'm going to cut Logan Thomas just because I want this guy to start will save us a little bit of cap room as well. Logan Thomas is gone, so I like that a little bit better for our team. We need a second string quarterback and a second string running back as well. Defensively, looking into it, I guess the CPU picked up that guy. Dean Gonzalez is a 77 overall. God, he looks like a beast. So secondary seems stacked out. Bob McCain, I may eventually need to replace in free agency. I'm going to need to get a free agent quarterback, a free agent running back, and a free agent middle linebacker. So I'm going to go do that now, and let's see what we got. So free agent running back, I don't want Mostert, Jerick McKinnon, Kenyon Drake. I'll take Kenyon Drake. I'll take Kenyon Drake for now. Take him, and I'm going to take a second string quarterback. I need a mentor. Tyrod Taylor is what I need, so that way I can get more XP for Sam Howell. And middle linebacker, can I get a mentor? I don't really need one, I guess. Bridge player for Anthony Hitchens. Sure. I'll take Anthony Hitchens, use him. And yeah, I think that should be good. Can I get a mentor DB as well for Xavier Rhodes? He's too high of an overall, actually, because I don't want Gonzalez to be a fourth string. Can I get a lower overall mentor player? Future starter? No. I guess no one here is a low enough. Oh, mentor. Janoris Jenkins. I want Janoris Jenkins just to be a mentor for Gonzalez. So he's going to play on the team. Good stuff. Anyways, it's now time to move in to the midseason mark. Here we are, 2-5, bottom of the division. It's because I didn't adjust the rosters and now the defense sucks. I need to adjust the rosters to what I want them to be. So it needs to be vertical zone run is usually what I go, and then 4-3 under. And then I go Dallas's offense and Kansas City defense. So I completely forgot to adjust this. Makes sense. And a Kansas City defense, if I can ever find it at any point in the year, we just passed it. There it is. So our team should be doing better once those playbooks are in effect. It's crazy because we were a playoff team with those previous playbooks, and now we're just 2-5. So coming off a loss to the Eagles, Kendall Fuller, I do want back on this team. He has a high interest in playing. I'll lower the money a little bit too. And he resigns. Good stuff. Gave him a 3-year deal, lowered the money. Montez Sweat, I need back. I'm not going to go player friendly, but I am going to give him a 5-year deal and increase the salary and a bonus a little bit. He resigns. Do want Cam Curl back. Cam Curl, I'm going to increase the salary even more. And he wants even more money. I gave him more money, even more salary, more years, and he's like, nah. Andrew Norwell, I'm going to let go. Bob McCain, I'm going to let go. Trey Turner still wants to come back, and he's still 76 overall. Drop him a 1-year deal. He returns. And Kenyon Drake, no. Everyone else here is just, yeah, I just want Cam Curl back. Everyone else can walk, and I think I can improve in free agency. So other than that, guys, we're going to go into the scouting national focus. And what do I want? Maybe linebacker? Nah, I'm going to go interior offensive lineman. We're going to lose a lot of them. I may not be able to get them in free agency. This is a stacked QB class. But anyways, guys, apart from that, it is now time to move in to the playoffs. And that's the effect of getting better playbooks, as we are now in the playoffs, finishing 9-8, third in the division, somehow still making it, coming off a win to the New York Jets. Stats and awards, let's see what we got here. Sam Howell, garbage. 29th best offense in the NFL. Best defense, though, carried it this year. 4,100 yards, 26 touchdowns, 17 interceptions, too many. That ratio is not good. Brian Robinson, 13 touchdowns, 3.8 per carry, 1,000 yards. Scary Terry, 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns. Sam Laporta, the rookie tight end, 6 touchdowns, 940 yards. That's a great season for a rookie tight end. Defensively, Cole Holcomb, 100 tackles for a loss, 13 for Jonathan Allen, sacks, 16.5 for Chase Young, 9.5 for Jonathan Allen, not tackles for a loss. Interceptions, 4 for Kendall Fuller. Safeties on the team, 1 for Chase Young and 1 for Daron Payne. Defensive touchdowns is 0. So, anyways, guys, apart from that, it is now time to see who we're going to be who will we be playing the divisional round is what I meant to say. Stuttered way too much over my words. It looks like we're going to be playing no one because we lost the Packers 35-27. As it looks like, if you see on the bottom, my team ranks, our offense is garbage and our defense is number 1 in the league. So let's move in to the offseason. Josh Allen wins the Super Bowl MVP as Patrick Mahomes wins the league MVP, and there are no awards here for the Washington Commanders. Let's see if there is any development upgrades after Sam Howell's terrible season. And offensively, Laporta unfortunately did not get star dev. I'm not going to give it to him, but he did have a good year overall. Then defensively, looking into it, Gonzalez only has star dev, but that's fine with me. Bob McCain now gets superstar dev. Kendall Fuller gets superstar dev. Chase Young has 16 and a half sacks and doesn't get X Factor. I'm going to give him X Factor. For those of you guys crying and saying it's cheating, I don't care. You're having 16 and a half sacks in a season and you're not getting X Factor is kind of stupid. So he's going to get an X Factor, and Bob McCain getting superstar really puts me in a predicament because he's apparently been playing well. I just don't want him because he's just going to keep regressing. I think that's so stupid, Madden, with the regression system. Tom Brady can win 4 league MVPs in a row, but will consistently regress in Madden because of his overall, which I think is retarded. They'll be like, oh, here's a few thousand XP, which doesn't help make up for the regression. So, Tyrod Taylor retires with the Commanders. No more mentor, I guess. I mean, it really didn't help him considering how bad Sam Howell played. But looking into the NFC East, I already looked here. I'm stupid, but anyways, players ready to negotiate. I need Cam Curl back. Cam Curl is definitely a guy I want back. I'm going to give him a very player-friendly deal, completely overpaying for him, and he resigns. Andrew Norwell can walk. Bob McCain kind of wants to be here. Give him a little bit more money. I'll sign him for that. It's fine. He can walk. I don't care. Everyone else here doesn't want to be here. I'm surprised Kenny Drake doesn't want to be here, considering he was a free agent that nobody wanted. But anyways, guys, it's now time to move into free agency. After free agency, I ended up getting Lamar Jackson on a stupid cheap deal. Look at his contract. Yes, $167 million bonus, but $7 million salary over 7 years. I'm paying him only $1 million a year in salary because no team wanted him. No team offered on him for some reason. So I got Lamar Jackson. Why would I not get Lamar Jackson? I can actually see this happening in real life. Unfortunately, I'm a Ravens fan, so this might happen in real life. Got Miles Jack, who I'm going to move to left outside linebacker. John Johnson. Hate this name, but he wanted to play for the team, and I gave him a cheaper deal. Cam Akers as a depth back. John Runyon as a right guard, and Kevin Dotson as a left guard. So Lamar Jackson's finally going to be happy to have 2 great receivers, and Scary Terry and Jahan Dotson. So now we're going to move into the draft. In the first round, I'm picking up a left tackle, Malcolm Malone out of Stanford. Hidden development, 6'6", 311 pounds, 85 strength. He's going to replace Charles Leno, and I'm going to get rid of that cap room, and I'm going to give Lamar Jackson a new franchise left tackle. I saw this elite talent on the board. He was elite at everything. 92 strength, hidden dev, 6'4" out of Colorado. Skills, A to B impact blocking, A to B awareness, A lead block, B pass block, A. Just, he's amazing. He's a great center. Second round pick, and he's probably going to replace my center and get rid of his cap room as well. And in the fourth round, I'm picking up middle linebacker Devin Frey out of South Carolina. Pass coverage, 6', 237, hidden dev, 88 speed, which is pretty good. A awareness, B hit power, C pursuit, C catching, C tackle. He seems pretty solid. Here we are after the draft, and Malone is a 72 overall, and my center is a 73 overall. Ooh, I might just trade away the left tackle and the center. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Straight up package them up and out of here. Yeah, $10 million for the center. My left tackle, Charles Leno, is $12 million. Trading away my center and my left tackle, Charles Leno, for the Texans' second round pick because they have the cap room to afford both of them. So they're up and out of here as we have a new offensive line for the new era in Lamar Jackson. Sam Howell can just sit on the bench, and sure, we can technically consider him part of the rebuild. And yeah, Jahan Dotson's decent. De'Ami Brown, Scary Terry. Laporta was actually pretty good last season. Defensively, looking into it, Frey is a 71 overall, and he was a 5th round pick for me, so that's sick, or a 4th round pick, one of the two. And yeah, the team honestly looks very, very good. And that strong safety, actually, my second string strong safety, I've been getting a bunch of offers for. So did I even need to overpay for Cam Curl? Probably not. DeForest? Who is this guy? Derek DeForest. What do I do with you? I think middle linebacker would suit you pretty well, considering that you are 6 foot and 206. Not 6'1" or 6'2", but hey, not bad. We're going to move him to middle linebacker. And actually, I have Frey. So do I move him to outside linebacker? Because Frey will not be that bad. This is a tough decision. Or I could just trade him away. I'll just keep him. I'll just keep him there. It's our 3rd season. Frey probably won't develop that quickly. So anyways, let's move into the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark, 5-1, top of the division, but the division is so highly contested that if we lose to Dallas this week, we immediately drop to 3rd, which would be crazy as long as the Eagles win, of course. Cam Akers trade offers, DeForest trade offers, St. Baptiste. Let's see you. You're actually not a bad overall. A wide receiver, a guard, and a 7th-round pick. Sure, I'll take this wide receiver. Let's see. I don't even care about that DB. We're just going to see what we got, and I'm going to see what I got with him. Maybe he has star dev. Hopefully he does. If he doesn't, that kind of would have been a scam. And yeah, he doesn't have star. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Very bad trade, but whatever. Doesn't matter. Cut one player. I have to now. And, sure. Chris Paul. You're gone. Anyways, we're going to see the Scouting National Focus. We're going to do that. And we got, what do I want? Really, I don't need anything. Maybe another tight end because Laporta just isn't that high of an overall. Maybe I can just pick one in the first round. And then players ready to negotiate. Let's see what we got here. We have Chase Young. You're going to need to stay. You have a high interest in staying. No long-term commitment, no deal. What are you talking about? It was originally a 3-year deal. I gave you 5, and you're like, no. Derek Forrest. I'll wait. Jamin Davis, I need back. God, that's so frustrating how the CPU is like, nope, we just don't feel like, having a correct game because EA is dog at their job, dude. Forrest gets re-signed. Sam Cosmi I would like back as well. If I could get him back. I know he's just going to be picky with this deal. I gave him a buttload of money that he didn't need. De'Ami Brown, Tressway, Trey Turner. I can't re-sign these players. Trey Turner is going to have to go. Tressway is going to have to go. Actually, matter of fact, I need to cut Tressway. I already have Tommy Townsend. Yeah, get out of here, Tressway. I just don't need you. I don't know why you're here, and I don't know why you're a captain. De'Ami Brown, I would like back. I don't think I'm going to get it back. I should have scouted National Focus for receiver. Sam Cosmi, I would like back. And Chase Young, I also would like back. But anyways, guys, apart from that, it is now time to move in to the playoffs. So actually, I want to see, are we going to move to the 3rd in the division? Can we beat the Cowboys here? We do. And we're top of the division, 6-1. Good stuff, as the Eagles also lost their game. Let's move to the playoffs. Here we are, as we are 15-2, top of the division, first round bye. Very highly contested division. As the Eagles are 13-4, Cowboys are 10-7, and Giants remain at the bottom of the pack. As the Falcons, we blow out in Week 18. Don't have to play anyone in the wild card, of course. First round bye. Lamar Jackson, top 10 QB, balling out with the Commanders, 9th best offense in the NFL, 2nd best defense. 4,700 yards, 35 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions, 71% completion percentage. Is that an MVP? No, it is not. He is 8th, really. That's crazy, with only 5 interceptions. Brian Robinson, 1,100 yards, 3.9 per carry. 30 touchdowns is crazy. Lamar Jackson, really 0 rushing touchdowns and 349 yards is stupid. Jahan Dotson, 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns. Scary Terry, 5 touchdowns, 1,100 yards. De'Ami Brown, 1,000 yards, 13 touchdowns. Sam Laporta, the tight end, 4 touchdowns, 1,000 yards, 104 receptions. He should get star dev. Looking at it defensively, Cole Holcomb, 122 tackles for a loss, 15 for Montez Sweat, sacks, 16.5 for Chase Young, 9 for Montez Sweat, 6 for Deron Payne, interceptions, 8 for Kendall Fuller. That's going to be a superstar X factor. 0 safety, 0 defensive touchdowns. Brian Robinson's going to get superstar dev. Kendall Fuller's probably going to get X factor. Crazy good year. De'Ami Brown's probably going to get superstar, and Laporte is probably going to get star. And we're facing the 10-7 Seattle Seahawks to move on to the conference championship. Can we do it with Lamar Jackson, the new era? We do. 28-14 here to face the 13-4 division rivals, the Philadelphia Eagles. So let's move in to this conference championship game and just play the moments. Here we are in Washington, D.C. to play the Philadelphia Eagles. They're going to strike first, 3-0. Come on, Lamar. Wake up, please. 10-0, 7-10. And 7-10 at halftime, 14-10 first lead of the game, 14-13 and 21-13. Come on, 21-21 2-point conversion, 28-21, 28-28, 31-28. No way. Did they just score on that? Yeah, they did. Scored on the final seconds of the game, 35-31, as Lamar Jackson is not going to the Super Bowl. And the Raiders with Anthony Richardson. I can actually see that happening in real life. Anthony Richardson with the Raiders wins the Super Bowl MVP, beating Jalen Hurts. In the Super Bowl, Joe Burrow wins the league MVP, and there are no awards here for the Commanders. Anthony Richardson to the Raiders is kind of crazy. Anyways, let's see what we got for the offensive upgrades. De'Ami Brown literally had pretty good season. Let me see his stats. 13 touchdowns and 1,000 yards. I don't want to piss people off, but I mean, we're not even going to re-sign him, but I am going to give him superstar dev. We can't afford to re-sign him. He just deserves superstar dev after that kind of a season, but since he's not a starting receiver, EA just won't make him one in simulation. Laporta literally had over 100 receptions. Look at this. 104 receptions, 1,000 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And previous season, he had some similar stats. Oh, well, he didn't have that many touchdowns. Doesn't matter. 104 receptions and 1,000 yards, crazy, especially for a tight end. Yeah, he's going to get star dev. You guys can cry about it if you want. Don't care. He's getting star dev. Don't need to draft a tight end now. I guess I am going to draft a receiver instead. And Trey Turner is going to end up walking. Malone's a star dev, and Cladwell is also a star dev. I hope I can re-sign Sam Cosmi. Frey is a superstar. I wish I would have known that before. That would have been sick. Kendall Fuller does get superstar X Factor. And yeah, I think that's all I wanted. Oh yeah, and Brian Robinson, I need to get him superstar dev. For those guys saying, oh, you're cheating. You think it's casual for a running back to get 30 touchdowns in a season? No, it's not casual for anyone except quarterbacks to get that. Crazy. Some quarterbacks don't even get 30 touchdowns in a season. Sam Howell had 26 touchdowns and 17 receptions in the simulation. So, superstar dev for Brian Robinson. And yeah, we're stacked out. We just need to re-sign Chase Young. He's a must-have for us. And can I tag De'Ami Brown? Could I just give him a dog offer and then just tag him? That would be really, really clutch. But I also need Sam Cosmi, so I think I need to re-sign Sam Cosmi more than anyone. So, NFC East, let's see what we got here. We got, both of I don't know what I'm saying, but a punter for Cowboys, and we also got a center for the Cowboys retiring. Chase Young, he needs to come back, but I want to franchise tag Sam Cosmi more than anyone, so we're going to give him a dog offer. He's going to be a potential franchise tag. I'm going to re-sign Chase Young, give him a player-friendly deal, up it to 5 years, and he re-signs. Is De'Ami Brown still on the table? He is. Interesting. I'm going to overpay the living crap out of this because we only have 1 year left. And he resigns. Good stuff. Trey Turner. I just don't need anymore, and I'm about to franchise tag Sam Cosmi. Yeah, I'm just going to franchise tag Sam Cosmi. Good stuff. I'm probably still going to draft a receiver regardless, but team's looking good. Negative cap room. Let's move into the draft. In the first round, I'm picking up wide receiver Keenan Spencer out of USC, physical archetype, 6'4", 231 pounds, and he still has 92 speed and 89 acceleration. Hidden development, he seems like he's going to be pretty good. So this is the team after the draft. Spencer is only a 72 overall. He probably won't even get that many reps. I'm going to cut this guy, matter of fact, that we traded for. So I'm just going to cut him just so that way Spencer can get more reps for the team, and he's going to move to a receiver 4. Probably is not going to really have that much of an impact on the team. Team looks crazy. DeForest, I moved to outside linebacker. Frey is a superstar. I really wish I knew that before. But, yeah, team looks sick. 4th and final year. Let's see if we can win the Super Bowl and consider this to be a successful rebuild. Let's move into the midseason mark. Well, not the midseason mark, the playoffs. Here we are going 15-2 again. Best offensive points per game, best defensive points per game, best defensive passing game, best defensive rushing game. Crazy. 15-2, top of the division, coming off a win to the Kansas City Chiefs. Not very contested division. Did the Eagles make the playoffs at 9-8? They did not. Well, no, they did. 7th seed. So we may have to worry about them again because Jalen Hurts still has good simulation stats and awards. Lamar Jackson did great. 3rd best offense in the NFL. Defensively, we should be number 1, and we are. 4,900 yards, 42 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Come on, he's got to be at least top 5 for MVP. And he is. Okay, good stuff. Looking at it, rushing-wise, Brian Robinson, 21 touchdowns, 4.4 per carry, 1,200 yards. De'Ami Brown, 1,300 yards, 16 touchdowns. So glad I kept him around. He's going to be an X factor. Jahan Dotson, 5 touchdowns, 1,200 yards. Sam Laporta, 108 receptions, 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson loves his tight ends. Scary Terry, 13 touchdowns and 876 yards. Kind of disappointing for how good he is. Miles Jack, 120 tackles for a loss, 19 for Montez Sweat. Sacks, 16.5 for Chase Young, 13.5 for Montez Sweat, 12.5 for Jonathan Allen. The sack crew is coming in. Christian Gonzalez finally breaking out, 4 interceptions, along with 4 interceptions with Miles Jack. And safeties on the team is 1 for Jonathan Allen. Defensive touchdowns is 0. So, we're going to be seeing who we're going to be playing in the divisional round. I'm actually going to be hopping into the divisional round because I want to make sure that we win this and we win the Super Bowl because the team is too good. Too good to lose to the 9-8 Philadelphia Eagles. So we need to make sure that we win this. We're going to hop into the divisional and let's start it. Here we are against the Philadelphia Eagles. They're going to strike first, 3-0, similar to last game, actually. 10-0, very similar to last game. Okay, this is very similar. Kind of exactly the same to last game, 10-14 at half. Yeah, exactly the same as last game. This is the same situation. 21-21, they get the 2-point conversion, 28-21. This better not end the same way. They're going to get a final scoring touchdown, I believe. No, I don't really care if they simulate this. There's only 18 seconds left. And they're not going to get a final scoring touchdown, but very similar until the end there. Very, like, the exact same scoring as in the divisional round from last season. But we're going to be moving on to the divisional round this time. Well, moving on to the conference championship, my bad. 31-21, let's move into it. Here we are to face the 11-6 Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Jamel Dean's former team. Let's see who their QB is, as they may have someone new. They are going to have Geno Smith. Okay. Okay, I guess 76 overall Geno Smith. Let's see how he plays out in the Buccaneers simulation in the conference championship. I'm stumbling over my words so bad today, but I'm going to be pissed if I lose to Geno Smith. Here we are against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 7-0 start, 14-0 start at the end of the first quarter, 14-3, 21-3 at home as we're blowing them out, 28-3, Tom Brady's favorite number, so is Matt Ryan's, 31-6. This game's over. This game, Geno had no chance. Underdog story completely shut down, even though they were 11-6, which isn't a bad record. Blowing out the Buccaneers, 41-20 in the conference championship. Let's move on to the Super Bowl. Here we are in the Super Bowl, here to face the 11-6 Jacksonville Jaguars. They most likely have Trevor Lawrence as their quarterback. Let's see the development upgrades. De'Ami Brown does get superstar. X Factor Spencer, we don't even get to see his development. He only played 133 snaps, probably on special teams. I want to see his development, so I'm just going to cheat here. Only star dev, don't really care. And then, I don't see any other upgrades, even though Laporta really does good. Looking at it defensively, Frey, still a superstar. I didn't even know that we drafted this guy. I really think Montez Sweat should get superstar as well because he had a great year. I'm not going to give it to him because I'm sure people will whine and complain about it. But anyways, we're going to move into the Super Bowl against the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is already a successful rebuild because all we have to do is make it to the Super Bowl. We don't need to win it. But let's try and see if we can finish this out. As they have Rashawn Gary, Kyle Pitts, and Christian Kirk is now an X Factor. Okay, let's move into it. Here we are at the Atlanta Falcons Superdome, or Mercedes-Benz Stadium or whatever. 10-7 in the second quarter, 17-7 and 10-17. No, 17-17 at halftime. 24-17 first lead of the game, 20-24. And, oh, it looks like they were almost about to take that lead back, but they do not. Come on. No. Do not let them drive down the field like that. Good stuff. Good stuff. Was making sure 24-20 against the Jacksonville Jaguars in the Super Bowl. And Lamar Jackson wearing number 11, interestingly enough, as Brian Robinson is wearing number 8 right next to him. And, yeah, we're going to win the Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson. Sam Howell is the second string, so technically we won it with Sam Howell. He's got a Super Bowl under his belt for doing nothing. But yeah, Trevor Lawrence is their QB. And that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you guys all for watching. Tell me which team you would like me to rebuild next. I have a bunch of suggestions that you guys have already told me to do, so I got to get through all of those. But I am actually going to see the Raiders and Chiefs game this weekend in Las Vegas, so I will be there, so I will not be uploading videos. If you guys do see this, most of you probably have not made it this far in this video. Let me know if you have. And a 2025 season recap, Lamar Jackson wins the Super Bowl MVP, Josh Allen wins the league MVP, Ron Rivera wins the Coach of the Year, and there are no other awards here for the Washington Commanders. Final look at this team. But anyways, guys, apart from that, I thank you guys all for watching. Let me know which team, once again, you would like me to rebuild next. Really enjoy these. Apart from that, guys, I will see you guys all in the next one.